Hi, I'm Justin with Opting Out of Normal. I just wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about some of the upgrades that we made to our trailer recently. As some of you may know, if you've been following us for a while, I just went through a pretty good size upgrade to our solar system and energy sources. So just stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it. So if any of you follow along with some of our other social media outlets, Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that, you've probably seen that I've been pretty busy working on the trailer. Some of the things that I did was, or a couple of the things that I did was I upgraded my battery bank and changed our power inverters to make better use of that battery bank. So a little bit of background, what I used to have in the trailer. When we first started going full-time in the trailer, we picked up a 2,000 watt hybrid inverter made by GoPower. It's the IC2000. It was a great inverter. We had a lot of good luck with it. We never had any issues. It provided plenty of power for just about everything we needed to do in the trailer. The GoPower is a hybrid type inverter that allows us to power up the trailer using a small 2,000 watt inverter type generator. If we didn't have enough coming in through the generator, the hybrid inverter would pick up the charge or pick up the load and assist the generator in providing the load. Also in our trailer we had 690 amp hours of lead acid batteries. That's a pretty significant size lead acid battery bank. So each one of those batteries in my battery bank weighed in at 69 pounds apiece. So my battery bank was almost 400 pounds in itself. Now all of that weight was running up front in the what I like to call the garage portion of my trailer, the little section right behind the kingpin. So most of that weight was being transferred to the truck. Not that we were overweight, but it was always something that I was concerned about. Our battery bank was charged by 1,400 watts of solar panels up on the roof, and that was all going through a FlexMax 80 charge controller. Again, never had any issues with either one of those. The panels were consistent as far as their output. The FlexMax 80 was and still is a very good controller. So some of the upgrades I did to our coach was that I added 2 Victron 3,000 watt hybrid inverters and 6 100 amp hour Battle Born Lithium batteries. I kept the solar system the same, so the panels and the charge controller, the FlexMax 80 charge controller, are from our existing system. I didn't make any changes to those. So as you can see in the picture, I was able to actually transfer the bulk of our equipment, the batteries and the inverters and charge controller, to the middle of the coach. What that enabled us to do is ensure that the batteries stayed within a climate controlled area of the trailer. It also helped eliminate some of the longer electrical runs that I had to make, both from the solar panels to the charge controller, and then also the AC lines from the inverters going up to the circuit panel. So some of the questions that have come up was, why did we make the change? We already had a pretty substantial lead acid battery bank. The hybrid inverter that we had was enough to power the coach for most of our needs. If we break it down into individual sections on the different components, as far as the Battle Born batteries, why did we change out the batteries? Well, the Battle Borns come with a ton of different benefits. If you compare our battery bank of what we used to have to what we have now, you'll see 690 amp hours of lead acid versus 600 amp hours of lithium. You'll see that we did drop our total amp hour capacity by 90 amp hours. However, we went from 345 usable amp hours all the way up to 600 amp hours. The charge rates are also considerably better. The lithium batteries are able to charge at a much faster rate. They're able to accept a bulk charge up to 98% of their full capacity. The output coming from the lithium batteries is more consistent. We're seeing on average of about 13.2 and some change voltage throughout the entire cycle of the battery. It drops a little bit once we get up into the higher amperage draws, such as running the microwave for an extended period of time, or the convection oven, or turn the hairdryer on for a long time. It'll drop a little bit, but for the most part, it consistently, when it's not being charged, the batteries are putting out 13.2 volts. The ability to mount the batteries in any direction has also given us a lot of freedom as to where we could place the batteries. Being able to place the batteries in the utility section of the trailer, which is normally a section that is hidden behind a wall and we wouldn't have access to it anyway, has definitely benefited us in the fact that it opened up all kinds of normal storage area for storage of items and allowed us to utilize the utility area. The weight loss is also significant. Because the batteries weigh in at 30 pounds apiece, our battery bank dropped almost 200 pounds. So some of the benefits of the Victron inverters that we decided to go with. Because we put in two, they have the ability to be programmed and work together. Currently I have them set up in a split phase setup, which means that they talk to each other and their AC current cycles are 180 degrees out from each other. So realistically, if I wanted to, I could get 240 volts output out of these two inverters. But the standard RV, you don't normally need more than 120 volts. Because we decided to go with the BMV712 battery monitor, our monitoring abilities are also a little better. We can do it through Bluetooth, or we can just go and look at the screen. For our setup, we also decided to stay with our trimetric meter. My wife's used to it, and so when she looks at it, she knows what she sees. You have the ability to be able to monitor these through the internet. If you have the ability to supply an Ethernet cable to the back of the CCGX color control monitor, you can monitor your system remotely. And through that internet connection, you can also ensure that your software inside the inverters is always updated and kept in an updated status. Because the Victron inverters are smart inverters or hybrid inverters, they will supplement your shore power or your generator output. The inverters do have the ability to pick up the load first prior to sending that load to the generator. And what that enables you to do is to help protect your generator a little bit so that it's not hit with a high load all at once. The load will slowly be applied to the generator. With the ability of these hybrid inverters, you have the ability to limit the maximum amperage coming from your shore power or generators. That number changes with models, so when you look at inverters, you'll definitely have to look to see what that minimum number is. That gives us the ability that we can run our coach being plugged into a 15 amp source of power, such as mooch stocking at a friend's or family members. If you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, please do. Some of the follow-on videos to this series, we're going to talk about actually configuring the Victron inverters. The configuration process involves a USB dongle called the Mark III or MK3. I wouldn't exactly say it's user-friendly, but it's not real difficult. So if you don't subscribe to our channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell if you want to be notified when we update our videos or when we upload a new video, or any time that we're live. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you're just starting off with solar, come check out our solar group on Facebook. It is the RV Solar DIY Install. I will post a link below. Come join. Please enjoy some of these scenes of what we're able to do, getting out here, not being connected to a pedestal.